Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's one, we're going to be looking at my current FPL draft, which does not include Erling Haaland. So straight into the team we go, and starting off with the defense. In the goalkeeper position, we've got Miguel from Nottingham Forest, and in the back three, we've got Gavardiol, Trent Alexander-Arnold and William Saliba. So I want to quickly start off talking about Miguel and why I've gone for the Nottingham Forest man. He is coming in at the price of 4.5 million, and I think Nottingham Forest have some of the best fixtures to start the season. They've got some really nice fixtures that include Bournemouth at home, Southampton away, Wolves at home, a tough fixture against Liverpool in game week 4, but then Brighton and Fulham in game weeks 5 and 6, and even after that the fixtures are really nice. And Nottingham Forest last season under Nuno put up some really good defensive numbers in terms of expected goals conceded. They ranked, I think it was 3rd under Nuno. So yeah, they actually showed signs of being a really good solid defensive team. I think where they kind of had a fault in their defense was from set pieces, and that's where a lot of that's where they conceded a lot of goals, and that's where this new signing Miguel comes in. All right, it's a new goalkeeper that they've signed. He is like 6'8", guys, so you'd assume that he's coming into this Nottingham Forest team to help them dealing with those set pieces from free kicks, corners and so on. So that's why I do think Miguel will most likely be the starting goalkeeper for Nottingham Forest. Of course, as the season, as it gets closer to the start of the season, I think we'll have better information on who is going to be that number 1 for Nottingham Forest. But at the moment, I do feel like it will be Miguel, so I really do like him as an option, because like I said, the Nottingham Forest defense seemed really good last season, and if this goalkeeper is coming in to hopefully improve them defensively from set pieces, then I think we could be looking at some clean sheets for Nottingham Forest. And also I think at 4.5 million he could be really good value. Obviously there are some other options like the new Chelsea goalkeeper, but I don't really know if I want to go near Chelsea, because they've got 3 really good goalkeepers, and at the end of the day any of them could be dropped or replaced if they don't perform. So that's why I'm not too keen on the Chelsea goalkeepers. So yeah, right now I'm set on Nottingham Forest, but let me know down below in the comments, who are you guys going for as your 4.5 million goalkeeper? So this back three of Gavardiol, Trent and Saliba, guys, I absolutely love it. I'm not gonna lie, I really do think it's so strong, and in my opinion probably the best defensive trio that you can get in this game at the moment to start the season. I think Gavardiol is an absolutely fantastic pick in my opinion. We know how City are really good defensively. We know that they're going to get clean sheets. We know they're one of the best teams in the league, but that's not the only reason why I do love this Gavardiol pick. Obviously, yes, the fixtures are really good. You know, they've got Ipswich in game week 2, they've got West Ham in game week 3, and Brentford at home in game week 4. But not only are the fixtures good, guys, Gavardiol is someone that showed he's got that attacking potential towards the back end of last season. And when you watch City play, when you look at his positioning, he's essentially playing as like a winger, you know, really attacking fullback. So yeah, he's taking up really good spaces. He's getting shots off in the box, he's getting crosses into the box. I feel like there's some good attacking potential there with Gavardiol, and if he can get those attacking returns and combine it with clean sheets, then I really do think, guys, we could be looking at some mega hauls from Gavardiol. So I really do like him as an option, so that's why I've gone for him. Of course, yes, it's a tough first game against Chelsea in game week 1, but like I said, after that we're looking at some really nice games for Manchester City. So I think Gavardiol could be a really good pick if he does carry on that sort of attacking threat that he showed that he had from last season. And in my opinion, this is one of the benefits that you get from not going with Haaland, a better overall squad in my opinion. So we got Trent in here now, and for me, I think he's absolutely essential, man. I really do think he's essential to start the season with. The fixtures for Liverpool are absolutely incredible, guys. Ipswich in game week 1, Brentford at home in game week 2. Yes, a tough game against Man United in game week 3, but then it's Forest and Bournemouth at home in game weeks 4 and 5. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold to start the season could be one of the best picks in the game. Yes, I know Liverpool have a new manager. They've got Arne Slot now. Jurgen Klopp's not there anymore. Yes, there's an argument to be made that we don't know how good Liverpool are going to be, but in my opinion, we know how much of a good player Trent is. He's a world-class player. He's an attacking player that can get you goals and assists. All right, he's shown that over the past couple of seasons. So we know how good Trent is as an individual. And yes, of course, Liverpool, they're an unknown quantity in terms of how they're going to play. But for me, the fixtures are just too good to ignore. We know that Liverpool have quality players on the pitch, and for me, I feel like that's enough. For me, I've got enough information already for me on Liverpool in terms of how good their players are to sort of just go with their players. Regardless of them having a new manager or not, I think the fixtures are too good to turn down, and we know how good Trent is. So for me, again, just like Gavardiol, if Trent can get those attacking returns and combine it with some clean sheets in certain games, again, the potential for hauls are really high. So I really do like Trent Alexander-Arnold as a pick. I think in my opinion he is one of the most essential players to start the season with, especially because the fixtures are just so good, man. But anyway, we're gonna move on from Trent Alexander-Arnold and we're gonna talk about William Saliba. Now, some people may look at that pick and some people may think that, you know, I shouldn't go with Saliba because they might say the fixtures from a defensive point of view aren't too great. Now, in my opinion, because I've got Barco on the bench, as you guys will be able to see, I've got Barco on the bench. I'm in a position where I can actually bench Saliba for his difficult game. So in game week 1, of course, when he's playing Wolves, I'd want to start him, and in game weeks 2 and 3, I'm going to start him as well. But the hardest fixtures in the first 6 games is that Spurs away game in game week 4 and Man City away in game week 5. But because I've got Barco, I can actually bench Saliba in game weeks 4 and 5 because Barco will be playing against Ipswich at home in game week 4 and then Nottingham Forest at home in game week 5. So I'm in a very good position there, guys, where I can actually bench Saliba in his difficult games. And for that reason, I think I want to start with Saliba because Arsenal defensively are the best team in the league. From what we know last season, from the information we have from last season, Arsenal are the best defensive team in the league. And at the end of the day, I want to have a player from the best defensive team in the league. So that's why I've gone for Saliba. That rotation there with Barco does work pretty nicely. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of this back three. Yes, I know I've invested a lot of money into my defense, but don't worry, I still think the rest of the squad is pretty good. So yeah, let's move on. So moving on into the midfield, guys, we do have Heung-min Son, Aldo, Saka, Salah, Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Gordon. In my opinion, guys, this is a very strong midfield, in my humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, but I really do like it, and this is what no Haaland allows you to do. We've got 3 premium midfielders in there in Son, Saka, Salah, and then Gordon and Hudson-Odoi. But I want to start off talking about Heung-min Son, Aldo. I think this guy right now is going slightly under the radar. I mean, his ownership is pretty low, and at the time of recording, he's coming in at around 11.5% ownership. So yeah, very low in my opinion. I think Son is a great pick. The fixtures are pretty good for Tottenham to start with, especially in the first 2 to 3 games. He's got Leicester away, Everton away, Newcastle away, and then yes, a tough fixture against Arsenal, but then after that it is Brentford at home. I really do like Son as a pick, and part of me liking Son as a pick is the fact that he's quite low owned, because I think Son has such high potential. This is a man who, in my opinion, is the best finisher in the Premier League, hands down. He's a clinical finisher. He's always outperforming his expected goals. So with his reliable finishing ability and the quality player that we know Son is, I think he's got a very high ceiling, and that's why I do like Son. We've also got Bukayo Saka there as well, and like I said with Saliba, some may argue Saka isn't the best to start with because the fixtures, some think that the fixtures are pretty tough for Arsenal to start the season, but for me, I think Arsenal, we know that they're one of the best teams in the league, and actually from an attacking standpoint, from an attacking point of view, I don't actually think the fixtures are bad at all. In game week 1 it's Wolves at home. You probably expect him to score in that game. Villa away, it's a tough game for sure, but he definitely can get a goal or an assist in that game. And then Brighton at home, you'd expect him to score in that game. Spurs away, there's always goals in a North London derby. So yes, it's away from home, but there's definitely going to be goals in that game, and I think Saka is someone that can score or get an assist in that game. So, and then obviously after that is Man City away, but then after the City game it's 3 very good fixtures. So for me, I actually think Saka, you know, he's shown that he's reliable in FPL in previous seasons, and for me the fixtures are actually not as bad as what people think. So I'm happy to start the season off with Saka. I actually really do like him as an option, and he's on penalties. We know that Arteta constantly plays him, like he just plays him all the time, non-stop. Even if there's you know, even if Saka might have a slight injury, we know he's going to start anyway. This guy plays all the time, plays 90 minutes on penalties. So yeah, I think he's a fantastic option at the price of 10 million. And then of course we've got Mohamed Salah, who I think is a great option to start the season with. Like when I was talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold, the fixtures to start the season for Liverpool are absolutely incredible, and what I like about Salah the most is that he's a guaranteed starter. He's going to get 90 minutes, he's on penalties, he's going to start week in week out, and that's my favourite thing about Mohamed Salah. And yes, of course, we know Salah is a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. We know he's going to get goals and assists, and even though Liverpool do have a new manager, I'm still quite confident in Salah providing those goals and assists. He's already scored in pre-season, he's already assisted in pre-season, he's looking really sharp. So I do like that Salah pick, and my favourite thing about him is that reliability, is the fact that we know he's going to start, and it's the fact that we know he's going to get the 90 minutes. Because I'm not going to lie, guys, if someone like Diogo Jota was guaranteed to start in that number 9 position week in, week out and get the minutes that Salah does, then I would probably go for Jota, and then I'd probably be able to fit Haaland in this team. But we don't know. We don't know who else is going to play in that front three with Liverpool. We don't know if it's going to be Jota. We don't know if it's going to be Gakpo. Is it going to be Diaz? Is it going to be Nunes? We literally just don't know. And I don't like the fact that they've got so many options and so much depth in their attack as well, Liverpool, because, you know, Gakpo, Diaz, Nunes, Jota could all be rotated with one another, and I don't like that. So that's why I like the Salah pick, man. It's just that reliability he's got. I know when the Liverpool team sheet comes out, I know Salah's going to be on there, and that's what I like about him. So yeah, man, I'm expecting a really strong start to the season for Salah. Usually he does have a good strong start to the season in terms of getting those goals and assists. So yeah, man, I really do like Salah as a pick. So I've gone with Hudson-Odoi because I do think at the price of 5.5 million he could prove to be a good cheap enabler. I mean, the fixtures for Nottingham Forest are good, are really good to start the season, and at the back end of last season we saw how his goal scoring form really picked up, and I do think that Hudson-Odoi could start the season strong based off the fixtures. He outperformed his XG last season quite a lot. He had an XG of like 2.65 and he got 8 goals, so a massive overall performance. And yes, I know there's an argument to be had, you know, can he maintain that? But I'm willing to sort of take that risk. I mean, if he's shown it last season, then, you know, he's got that potential to do it again this season, and I really do hope he can. Obviously, yes, there's other options like Elanga at 5.5 million, who, you know, some people are saying is a better option than Hudson-Odoi, but at the moment I'm slightly edging towards Hudson-Odoi, and the reason that is because I actually think his output, his end product, is slightly better than Elanga's. The data does also prove that in terms of, you know, how much he outperformed his XG. So yeah, I'm slightly leaning towards Hudson-Odoi, but I think it's pretty tight in terms of who to go for between Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, but I'm slightly favouring Hudson-Odoi. And then we got Anthony Gordon, who in my opinion is one of the better players to start the season with. I think the fixtures are absolutely great for Newcastle. Southampton at home in game week 1, Bournemouth away in game week 2, Spurs at home in game week 3, which is definitely a fixture where he can score in, because we saw last season, I mean, Newcastle absolutely destroyed Spurs at their home ground 4-0, and Gordon did score in that game. And Spurs last season defensively, they were pretty weak, so if it's going to be the same again this season for the Spurs defense, then I've got no problem starting Anthony Gordon against Tottenham. But yeah, the fixtures are really good for the first 6 for Newcastle, so I do like Gordon as a pick. And last season we saw how good he was: 11 goals, 16 assists. He showed his quality, he showed his class, so I'm really happy to start with Gordon for the start of the season. And I've been hearing rumours about him possibly going to Liverpool. I don't know how concrete that is, I don't know how true that is, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Obviously, if he does go to Liverpool, then I'm probably not going to put him in unless Liverpool sell some of their attackers, because yeah, for me, yeah, I wouldn't want him at Liverpool, because I think he becomes a worse option because there's a rotational risk there. But I expect him to stay at Newcastle. I think Eddie Howe has said that, you know, Gordon is going to stay at Newcastle, but I've still been seeing rumours about him possibly leaving. But yeah, I think if he stays at Newcastle, Anthony Gordon, yeah, a really good option at the price of 7.5 million. But moving on into the forward positions, guys, we've got Alexander Isak and Chris Wood. In my opinion, man, Alexander Isak is absolutely essential to start the season with. I don't understand why anyone on planet Earth wouldn't start their FPL season with Alexander Isak in their team. In my opinion, he's essential. The fixtures are amazing, and for that game week 1 fixture against Southampton at home, he is most likely going to be my captain. I think he's having a great preseason as well. He's scoring goals. We saw what Alexander Isak did last season, right? This guy is a goal scorer. He scores goals for fun, and yes, some people may argue, is there competition there with Callum Wilson? Is there that risk of being rotated? I don't think so. If Alexander Isak stays fit, then I see this guy starting week in, week out. I see him getting around 80 to 90 minutes per game. So I think Alexander Isak is a great pick for me. Honestly, just absolutely essential, man. And I think he'll do great things to start the season. I can see him getting so many goals, man. So yeah, man, Alexander Isak, really like that pick. Very confident with that pick. Yeah, I love him as an option, man. I really do. Newcastle as well, we know that they're a goal scoring team. We know that they like to score goals. So he will get chances. He will get chances and he will score goals. I'm pretty confident with that. And then of course, we've gone for Chris Wood to partner with Isak in the forward positions. And like when talking about Hudson-Odoi, I've gone for Chris Wood because I like the fixtures that Forest do have, and I just really want to attack the early fixtures and try get an advantage on everyone else. So I've gone for Chris Wood. We also know that he can score goals. He showed that last season. I think last season he bagged 14 goals, and even in previous seasons when playing for Burnley, he scored goals. So I am pretty confident on Chris Wood scoring goals. But one thing I do want to say is that I am considering Rodrigo Muniz instead, because I also like the fixtures that Fulham have, and I'm not sure if I want to have 2 attackers from Nottingham Forest and none from Fulham. I think I'd rather have 1 attacker from Forest and then 1 from Fulham, because I think Fulham also has some really good fixtures where Muniz can definitely score goals. I mean, we saw towards the back end of last season, Rodrigo Muniz really picked up his form and was scoring a lot of goals. So yeah, Fulham have some good fixtures. They play the likes of Leicester, Ipswich, West Ham at home in like game weeks 2, 3 and 4. So yeah, I do like Muniz as an option, and is someone that I am considering. I'm still undecided though. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Chris Wood, but definitely that could change to someone like Rodrigo Muniz. But yeah, as you guys can see, that is the final draft. Obviously, not whoa, hold on a second. It's not my final draft. It's my current draft with no Haaland. But one thing I do want to say is that I do like this team a lot, and it could well end up being my final draft. I don't actually know where the weak points are in this team. Obviously, yes, it's not got Haaland, but yeah, other than the no Haaland thing, I think this is such a strong draft. I look at it and I think the defense, I'm really happy with. The midfield, I'm really happy with. The attack, I'm really happy with. Yes, it's not got Haaland, but honestly, I don't mind. I don't mind. With a team like this, I think it is really strong. So yeah, man, I'm a big fan of this team, but let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Yes, we do have a pretty weak bench, but I don't really want to invest too much in my bench. I'm really happy with the starting 11. So yeah, I think it's a really good team. I actually do think it's a good team. But let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. You know, are you liking the team that I've built? Could there be any improvements? Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this draft down below in the comments. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We are so close, well, kind of close to 1,000 subscribers, so we'd appreciate if you do drop a sub. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.